What if Jesus' last words were divine code for you? What if I told you that there is a secret code hidden in the last words of Jesus? A code that the church doesn't want you to find out. For 2,000 years, millions of people read these 7 final sentences, but never realized the pattern. They never saw the hidden message. They never understood that each word was chosen with divine accuracy. Why exactly 7 words? Why in this specific order? Why did Jesus even die? Chose to teach instead of just suffering? What you are about to find out will shake everything you thought you knew about the crucifixion. It will reveal a mystery that few have realized. It will show that Christ's last words were not random screams of pain, but the final keys of divine code, a code for you. In the next few minutes, I will reveal each of these 7 keys. I will show how they form a perfect map for the salvation of the human soul. And in the end, you will find out which of these words Jesus is talking directly to your heart today. If you are watching this now, it is no coincidence. God has a specific message for you through this millennial code. Don't leave. Do not skip this video. Your soul may be about to find exactly what you have sought. Father, forgive them. Key of forgiveness. At this crucial moment, Jesus demonstrates his compassion and mercy in asking for forgiveness for those who crucified him. This phrase reveals the essence of divine forgiveness, showing that even in the face of greater injustice, love can prevail. Forgiveness is presented as a fundamental key to the transformation and healing of human relations, inviting us to reflect on our ability to forgive and be forgiven. Today, you will be with me in paradise. Key of hope. In this moment of extreme pain and suffering, Jesus directs words of hope to one of the crucified criminals by his side. In promising that they would be together in paradise that same day, he demonstrates the transforming power of faith and redemption. This phrase reminds us that, regardless of our current circumstances, there is always room for repentance, forgiveness, and a new chance. Hope is presented as a light that shines even in the darker situations, inviting us to trust the promise of a better future based on faith and divine grace. Woman, here is your son. Community key. In this moment of deep human connection, Jesus directs his words to his mother, Mary, and the beloved disciple. By saying, "Woman, this is your son," and to the disciple, "Here's your mother," Jesus not only demonstrates his care for his earthly mother in the midst of his agony, but also establishes a new community of love and mutual support. These words transcend the blood loop, pointing to the importance of taking care of each other as members of a spiritual family. The key to the community invites us to reflect on the power of fraternal love and solidarity, showing that together we can find comfort and strength even in the most difficult times. My God, why have you abandoned me? Key of abandonment. In this moment of deep anguish, Jesus expresses a feeling of helplessness and loneliness by crying out the words, "My God, why did you abandon me?" This phrase not only reveals the humanity of Jesus, who experienced the weight of divine removal, but also points to the reality of human suffering. In quoting Psalm 22, Jesus invites us to reflect on the nature of pain and abandonment, showing that even in our darker moments, we can find comfort in the divine presence. The key to helplessness leads us to confront our own weaknesses and uncertainties, inviting us to seek comfort and hope in faith, even when everything seems lost. I'm thirsty. Key to the need. In pronouncing "I thirsty," Jesus reveals his humanity and vulnerability, showing that even the Son of God experienced the most basic physical needs. This phrase goes beyond the simple physical thirst, symbolizing the profound spiritual and emotional needs we all face. In expressing his thirst, Jesus reminds us of the importance of recognizing our own needs and seeking them not only with water, but with the source of living water, that is, himself. The key to necessity invites us to reflect on what we truly seek to fill the emptiness in our lives, showing that only in God will we find the fullness and satisfaction that our spirit yearns. Is consummated. Key to victory. By uttering the words "is consummated," Jesus ends his earthly mission with an act of triumph and fulfillment. This phrase not only marks the fulfillment of the Scriptures and the realization of the divine plan of redemption, but also symbolizes the victory over sin and death. In the midst of the agony of the cross, Jesus proclaims that his work is complete, that the sacrifice was made, and that salvation was conquered for all humanity. It is consummated echoes as a cry of victory over the forces of evil, revealing the redeeming power of divine love. This key to victory invites us to contemplate the deep meaning of Christ's saving work, showing that in the midst of the darker adversities, we can find hope in the certainty of the final victory of good about evil. In your hands I give my spirit. Key of surrender. In this moment of total surrender, Jesus pronounces the words, "In your hands I give my spirit," demonstrating your absolute confidence in the divine plan and the will of the Father. This phrase symbolizes the final act of surrender and submission of Jesus, who gives his life into the hands of the Creator with full confidence and faith. In delivering his Spirit, Jesus teaches us about the importance of unshakable trust in God, even before the most adverse circumstances. The key to surrender invites us to reflect on our own ability to fully trust God, delivering our lives and destinations into their hands with unshakable faith. The supreme expression of love, key of redemption. At this culmination, Jesus utters the phrase, "Father, in your hands I give my spirit," revealing the deepest expression of surrender and trust in God. This statement not only symbolizes the total surrender of Jesus to divine will, but also represents the apex of the redeeming love he came to the world. In giving his Spirit into the hands of the Father, Jesus demonstrates absolute confidence in the saving work being held on the cross. The key to redemption invites us to contemplate Christ's supreme sacrifice as the final and definitive act of humanity's redemption, showing that only through love and total surrender can you find true freedom and reconciliation with God. The pain transformed into hope, key of transformation. At this crucial moment, Jesus expresses his humanity in crying out, "I thirst." These words go beyond the physical need of water, symbolizing the spiritual and emotional thirst we all experience. In revealing his vulnerability, Jesus invites us to reflect on our own deeper needs and longings. Jesus' thirst represents the search for fullness by filling the inner emptiness with the living water he offers. This key to transformation invites us to recognize our most intimate needs and to seek them at the inexhaustible source of divine love, allowing our pain to become hope and renewal. The journey of the soul at this culmination. I invite you to dive into your soul's journey, and to reflect on the 7 keys revealed by the last words of Jesus. Each word is not just divine code, but a personal invitation for transformation and rebirth. Just as Jesus went through a journey of pain, surrender, and redemption on the cross, each of us also faces challenges, seeking hope and yearnings for belonging. I ask you, which of these keys resonates most deeply in your life today? Where do you find the need for forgiveness, hope, community, comfort in the midst of helplessness, supply of your most intimate needs, victory over your internal battles, surrender to the divine plan, or redemption of your being? May this reflection enlighten the path of your soul and guide you to the spiritual fullness. May the last words of Jesus, not just an old account, but a living map for his own journey of faith and transformation. May each key open doors to a new understanding of yourself and the infinite love that the Creator has for you. Which of these words is your word today? Reflect on which code you need in your life. Transform Jesus' last words of screams of pain into intentional divine code, a structured message to guide the human soul from perdition to salvation. The code was revealed. The 7 keys are in your hands. Now the question that remains is, which of these words Jesus is whispering to his heart right now? If this video has touched your soul, leave your like so that more people can discover these hidden truths. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so as not to lose any biblical revelation that can transform your life. And if you know someone who needs to discover your word today, share this revelation. This was Echoes of Eden. Truth always finds those who need to hear it.